Have you ever noticed that you are the most patient person in the room except when it comes to yourself? Think about that for a second. You spend your entire day being the anchor for everyone else. You listen to their problems, you carry their weight, and you offer words of grace that you would never, ever grant yourself. But the moment the door shuts and the world falls silent, the dynamic shifts. That same voice, the one that sounds so soft and understanding to others, turns into a cold, clinical judge that starts listing your flaws, your failures, and your should-haves. It's a strange, heavy kind of silence, isn't it? It feels like you are trapped in a courtroom where you are simultaneously the defendant and the harshest prosecutor. You aren't just being kind to the world, you are hiding in plain sight. You've become so good at holding space for everyone else that you've forgotten how to inhabit your own life. Let's talk about why your empathy is currently holding you hostage. 1. The dual standard trap. Why is it that you offer everyone else grace for free, but treat yourself like a business transaction? This is self-value asymmetry. We often walk around with this hollow, subconscious belief that our worth is tied to how useful we are to others. Deep in the default mode network of our minds, that internal prosecutor is working overtime, terrified that if we stop being the helper, we'll simply disappear. You aren't just being kind, you're paying a toll for your right to exist in other people's lives. That knot in your stomach when you say no? That's not empathy, that's fear. It's the fear of losing your perceived value because you haven't realized yet that you are worthy just by breathing. The prosecutor is just a phantom, a ghost of old expectations that no longer own you. If this hits home, take a breath and comment, "I am noticing the prosecutor." And hit that subscribe button. Let's reclaim your value, piece by piece. 2. Survival strategy. Why kindness isn't always virtue. In your case, kindness is often a survival tactic, not a conscious choice. Gabor Mate often talks about the raw tension between authenticity and attachment. Back when you were a kid, navigating emotionally unstable ground, you picked up the chameleon effect. To stay safe, you had to be agreeable. You learned to stay small because in your early nervous system, being noticed felt like being a target for criticism. You aren't too nice. You're just protecting a scared inner child by being the most harmless version of yourself possible. You've rehearsed this role until it feels like skin, but it's just a costume. You're holding your breath to keep the peace, completely forgetting that you're the only one suffocating. 3. The emotional debt, the silent Aish. This is the lonely kind syndrome. You're everyone's pillar, yet you're crumbling entirely in silence. Because you never dare to voice your own needs, your polyvagal state stays trapped in a chronic fawn response, stuck in a loop of begging for safety through submission. You keep hoping that if you do enough, someone will finally, intuitively notice you're drowning. But when they don't, the void only gets wider. You aren't strong, you're just starving for the exact same care you pour out for everyone else. It's a tragic irony. By always being the one who's fine, you've trained the people around you to never look twice at your heart. You're essentially sacrificing yourself into isolation, waiting for a rescue that you're accidentally blocking by appearing bulletproof. 4. Why love feels inaccurate, the shame lens. When someone actually shows you love, why does it feel like a bug in the system? That's your negativity bias running through a lens of deep-seated shame. You've spent so many years proving you're lesser to avoid conflict that when someone finally treats you as worthy, your brain flags it as a threat to your carefully constructed reality. You reject praise not because you're modest, but because it challenges the survival story you've written for yourself. You feel out of place when recognized because you've mastered the role of the helper, never the helped. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine, constantly hunting for reasons to deny your worth because being flawed feels safer than the terrifying prospect of being truly seen and loved. 5. Reclaiming the self, breaking the pattern. The way out starts with the 3-second pause. When that prosecutor starts talking, stop. Just breathe. Acknowledge it. This is just a defense pattern, not the truth. You don't have to fix your whole life today. Practice self-compassion by talking to yourself the way you'd talk to a friend who's hurting. By observing your thoughts rather than being them, you create a tiny gap where change can finally breathe. You're taking your voice back, one boundary at a time. The goal isn't to stop being kind. It's to stop using kindness as a shield to hide your own pain. You are allowed to be messy, to have needs, and to be human without performing for the world's applause. Your kindness is a beautiful, profound gift, but it's meant to be a fountain, not a drain. You don't need to be perfect to earn your place here. Start by turning that same gentle, loving gaze you give the world back toward your own tired heart. If this resonated, comment, "I am starting to reclaim my voice," and make sure you're subscribed to Raw Human Psychology. We'll keep walking this path together in the next episode, moving from the cage of survival into the light of the person you were always meant to be,